It doesn't keep me warm. It doesn't tell me I love me. It loves me. And so all these things that we're supposed to be going after, King has said over and over again, there is more to life. And there's a response that is required of us, each one of us. We're either going to be an accessory to a crime or an accessory to improving the legacy of not only King, but of the goodness in people.
Brought in education, the idea that that is really what brings an awakening to you. I love this campus, I have to say. I've been here for 2 years, and I love this campus. And I love this campus because the people here actually care about all of you. We have different opinions of how all of you can be successful, but we care about all of you. And we want you to be successful. And we understand that education can change your life because what it does is it opens your mind to a different way of thinking, a different way of understanding, and it also lets you see how you can progress yourself. This is a place where you should be pushing back on concepts of what is going on in a respectful manner. I always like to say, when people come to me and say, Dejeune, this is how I think this should happen, I always go, can I push back on that? Because I'm giving you a little bit of a notice that, I'm going to come back on that, I may not necessarily agree with that. This is your college experience. Ask your professor, why? How come? How do you know this? What else can I learn about it? Who else should I talk to? How can I grow? Go back to your community and say, you should consider taking the class. When you hear somebody who doesn't understand something, who needs some growth, you should say, hey, you might want to visit me at MJC or another institution, because education is going to lead you out of despair. It's an opportunity for you to grow, and everyone should have that opportunity. And so I'd like to open it up. I want to see if there are any questions or any comments from kind of the gallery, or if not, maybe there's some more panelists that have some conversation they want to say. But do we have any conversations or questions that you'd like to ask? No, you guys are all going to be sitting here like, I'm only here because somebody said that they have to come here. I'll get up and I'll come out and ask you a question if that's how it's going to be. Oh, okay, because did you see me get up? And I was like, it's about to happen in here. Okay, so let's ask this question.
My question is, still today, do you guys still fear, like, just walking down the street? Do you guys ever feel like someone's looking at you wrong? I mean everywhere, even myself, I feel the same way, but maybe because I'm lighter skinned, some people may not think that I'm from another race. But for instance, just not being, just don't want to point it out, but you guys could stand out more in a crowd because you guys are a different color. How do you guys feel, or has it come to the point where you guys feel like you guys are less than someone? I don't know if that makes sense.
That's a good question. And this is a safe space, so all questions are acceptable, right? Right? If you can ask a real question and get a real answer and start delving into things that you're not sure about, then we're not going to grow. So in this space, when you see me, you're in a safe space. So I thank you for that question. Who on the panel wants to answer that question?
Yes. And I'm going to say I got this because something recently happened to me. I was driving home from work, and I live in a predominantly white neighborhood. And a guy, he does not live in the neighborhood, he was following me home. I did my same routine that I usually do. He came and he pulled a gun out on me and was like, why are you in this neighborhood? I couldn't see his face because he had a flashlight on. And he had me where his truck was. I went in a cul-de-sac because you're not supposed to show nobody where you live. If you see somebody, you're not supposed to know where you live. But he cut the cul-de-sac with his truck, and he was like, why are you here? What are you doing? Never seen him, So, yes, it happens. I said I got the mic because that's never happened to me before. And like I said, me growing up in diversity, thinking people are people, you hear stories like that. stories like that. And it happened to me. I was messed up for a couple of days. I was screwed up. I was like, I'm not sleeping at home by myself. Someone's about to stay at home, you know. But I'm glad I experienced that because I understand how valuable, how important it is. You know, our not just blacks, even Mexicans, even, you know, it can happen to all of us. And you can't get mad at the person because I personally, like, I wasn't mad at him. I was, but actually when I thought about it, like, you know, that's something that he learned. Or that's what he feels. He feels like I'm a threat. And it happens. But you cannot keep that from stopping you. You have to do what you gotta do. You have to keep overcoming, keep doing what you're doing. You can't let anything stop you, especially in this life. Like, we have opportunities that they didn't have. We have no excuses. We're in 2019, we have no excuses for whatever we're trying to do. We have no excuses for it. We don't have those problems that they did. So yes, to answer your question.
Can I tag on to that as well? You also kind of said in there, like, do you feel less than? No. I don't ever feel less than. But I am always reminded that there are people out there who feel that I am less than. Right? So there's a difference there. I also want to say this. Because of that, you know, we wake up every day and we have choices. Very simple choices that are going to dictate quite a bit of your future and where you go and how you raise your family and where you live and all of these type of things. I think the greatest choice that you have every single day is to be a good person. Right? Because being a good person and being a bad person, caring about those who are oppressed and not caring about those who are oppressed, intervening when someone is being mistreated, disrespected, and not intervening when someone is being mistreated and disrespected, having an opinion, not having an opinion, being on the bandwagon, not being on the bandwagon, all choices. All choices. You have more of, you are more a part of the solution when you're able to understand who you are and who you want to be, the type of person that you want to be, and then begin to contribute that into your society. So no, I don't ever feel less than. However, I know that there's people that are around me that constantly, because of how I look, underestimate my potential, underestimate where I'm going, underestimate who I am, and they think that I'm less than. That's the real problem.
For the first part of the question about, like you said, does it make you feel less than? No, again, it doesn't make me feel less than, but it's tiring to have to prove your humanity over and over again. That's exhausting, and you get to a point where it's like, what's the purpose? Also, I don't want us to walk away thinking that, you know, because we're black, that we are the only group that feels, you know, the lens, the attacks. Because right now we know that our Hispanic folk are being singled out, and what is that term that they were doing for stop and frisk? They're experiencing that whole, okay, you have this image and you look like someone who does not belong here. So it's not just something that affects black folks right now, or ever. And so we shouldn't really look at it in that way. I thank you for that, Ashley. I think it's important to recognize the trauma that people experience every day of their lives as they're trying to get to work or to class or whatever else is going on. The trauma that is experienced as you're having to explain, oh, I'm a human, and I deserve to be treated as a human. See, because when I go into a store, I have to think, do I have my bag? Is there a person who's standing at the counter so that they don't make sure that I'm stealing? What's happening? What's going on? I gotta watch everything. When I'm driving home, I gotta think, okay, are my tags good? Are my lights in? Is this happening? What's going on? Because I know somebody is checking for me, right? That's grind. That's a grind. People tell you that diamonds are made from pressure, right? That's true. I'm a diamond, I can tell you for sure. And all of us sitting in here are diamonds, right? But it's still pressure. I was still pushed. It hurts. It upsets me. But I'm a diamond. And so I will survive it. But I ask all of you to understand that it's a grind. It's a grind. So give a little bit of peace for people. Understand that they may come to class after having a gun put on them. What kind of grace can I give you because of that?
Dejeune, I want to add something too on the, because you do have to, the everyday, you're talking about the everyday struggles, right? These little, they call them,
Microaggressions.
some are microaggressions, some are macroaggressions, okay? But the thing is that to protect your own, for your own self-care, right? You have to keep in mind who's wrong. They have this impression of you that is wrong. So, like for example, I'm talking about when you're in the store, and you feel those eyes, okay? Well, why am I putting my hands in my pockets? Or why am I keeping my hands so that everybody can see? Why am I even catering? Why am I trying to make this person feel comfortable when they are wrong? You know what I mean? So that is something that you have to make the adjustment, right? You have to know that, you're just another customer in the store too. So, if they want to try to follow you around, that's a waste of their time. You know what you came into the store to get and what you didn't. Okay, so I'll just keep that in mind.
Yeah. This is going to be our last question because I know you guys got class and we're not trying to keep you from class.
Actually, it's not a question. My name is Ann Phillips, and I'm an instructor here at MJC. I'm teaching a critical reading class this semester, and we are right now reading and analyzing the letter from Birmingham Jail, written by Martin Luther King in 1963. And what is so amazing about this letter, this piece of poetic literature, is that it is still the points made in this letter, where King has been arrested for peaceful protest in Birmingham, Alabama, and the points that he makes in the letter are still relevant today. 60 years later, we're dealing with the same issues of inequality and injustice and all of the points that he makes in the letter. And yet, it's on, as some of you were saying, not only with African Americans, but it's on such a broad scale now. And in our political climate now, which is, so hard, I think, for a lot of people, that when we go back to Martin Luther King and the people that worked with civil rights and pushed through, that door and opened all of those opportunities, it's still going, and there are more and more groups that are being discriminated against. LGBT groups here on campus, and Hispanics, and all.
I thank you for that, because that is true. And I think too that everyone talks about they want an ally, right? And I heard something that was really profound. Somebody said, I want an accomplice, not an ally. You know why? Because an accomplice says, I'm jumping in right with you for the fight. An ally says, hey, don't fight, stop that, whatever. The accomplice says, how is this going down? What we doing? That's what an accomplice says. So we need accomplices of every race and nationality. We need people to say, it doesn't matter how I look, that's wrong. You're not going to do that to me. That's an accomplice. Be in it with me. When I turn around, you need to be right up next to me. I'll be like, oh, we're going together, okay? Yeah. That's how we move forward, right? Yeah. So I'm going to end this day saying that I started by saying I was the hope and the dream of the slave, right? I'm going to end it by telling you something that I hope you think about. I am the first one in my family with full rights. I, 48, I'm the first one born with rights. You think about that when somebody tells you that it's over. You think about that. 48 years, that's nothing. That's a blink. The struggle continues. Be an accomplice. Help us help you so that we can all live in a world that we're proud of. It's your children that are going to be affected by this. I stand before you, as I said, as the hope and the dream of the slave. That is what I am. My ancestors talk to me on a daily basis, telling me, I love you, I'm proud of you, you can make it happen. You're successful, you're smart, you're beautiful, you're capable, you're strong. All of you have that inside of you. And if you need it, then find that person that can give it to you. Because we're all human, and we all deserve respect, no matter what form it comes in. We all deserve it. So fight for it. You take this education seriously, and you go out and you change this world for the better. I thank all my panelists for joining me. This has been a wonderful opportunity, and I hope we have more opportunities to talk this way. But I hope when you talk from honesty. Did you hear the honesty coming from that question? That's a scary question to ask. It's scary to delve into race. Am I going to be considered racist if I ask this question? I really don't know. Is it okay to say this? We need safe spaces where we can have these conversations so that we can change the world. I'm all in. I'm an accomplice. I've never had a fight in my life, but I'm going to take my earrings off. I'm going to put on some creams over my eyes, and it's going to go down. Thank you guys. This has been a wonderful